Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308. And we are joined by the ASOC Prod and the Peanut Gallery today. Hi, guys.
Hello.
It is also an alternating Saturday, so that means it's breakfast with the Kush gang. And we have a couple of very delicious looking little cakes here to eat. A lemon and a strawberry one. And one of their, of course, fluffy brownies. And they did have drip this week, so we will be having one of our usual drinks this morning. Now, of course, the Kush gang, purveyors of fine infused edibles, wonderfully fun flour, and other stuff, as well as Firehouse, can both be found at the Saturday Canna Market, but also at Frosty Fridays at The Hidden Leaf, our main sponsor, also where today's pre-rolls will be coming from. The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, on the downtown mall, 105 West Main Street, above the Bricks, Suite 200, between the Green Cauldron and Hamilton's. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, eh, bud? And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. And they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research. By which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. Today's show is relatively non-political, so while I will make the disclosure that we're opinionated, any opinions you hear belong to us, not to our sponsors, it seems a little less important today. Yes. Check out the Hidden Leaf's website for times and events. The website is thehiddenleafcville.com. That's The Hidden Leaf, CILLVCVILLE, dyslexia. The Hidden Leaf, CVILLE.com. That's thehiddenleafcville.com. All right, now that I've managed to stumble my way through that, let's get started with today's breakfast with the Kush gang. I will say that today's episode is mostly Ark on the Lamb. However, we're going to start with a special report. Special news report. Now, as some of you may know, I lost my audio recorder sometime on last Sunday after the Tulip Festival. And unfortunately, it had the audio from the Tulip Festival. And so when we released the Tulip Festival video, we had to release it with the camera audio, which was
subpar.
Thank you. Politically put, subpar. So, when I went into the Best Buy yesterday to get a new one. While I was checking out, police started basically pouring into the Best Buy. And, you know,
What did you do?
yeah, right? That was my thought. What did I do? I'm just here buying stuff. Like, I'm even going to pay for it. Cops!
Fair enough.
So, like, I'm trying to fly casual, Chewy, while the cops are in there. And when they come in, man, two of them walk with purpose in my direction. And time slowed the F down. Who doggies? So, I finished checking out and get out of there, and there are a lot of cop cars outside. I think half a dozen. I think maybe six cop cars out there. And I'm like, well, they're obviously not here for me. I'd be in cuffs and in the back of one of these by now if they were here for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a brand new audio recorder and I was feeling froggy.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited for one of the cops who looked like I could speak to them, who looked like I could distract them enough to get some sort of answer out of them. Boy, was I wrong. Now, I'm not going to use the audio that I got because it really was also subpar because I got my recorder going a moment too late and didn't get close enough, and the guy talked really quietly, which I found very interesting for a police officer. I almost wanted to say something, but I was like, you know what? Don't forget that you've got a bunch of pre-rolls in your handbag in the car. I mean, it ain't illegal, but...
Still.
We shall refer to him as Officer Roosevelt.
Right. Officer Roosevelt.
Fair
I
enough.
also didn't grab his badge number or name. Partially because the look he gave me... Okay, I'm also in a Hidden Leaf hoodie at the time. So the look he gave me was one of... I
This
could
is not
arrest
subtle.
you. I could arrest you. It's like, I don't want to test it. So the answer the cop gave me was, oh, it was nothing major. Nothing really happened. Not a big deal. Very, evasive. Which, of course, is to be expected. And I think that's kind of actually almost fun. Because I will be in future approaching Charlottesville police, asking questions with my recorder out, and they're gonna have to remember me. I told the guy my full name, so. And the
I'm
cops haven't showed up
thinking-
here to arrest me either, so I think I'm good. Oh, there are blueberries in this. Oh.
The squirrel has a cat. Given the culture we've got right now of everybody recording everything with the phones out and being very accusatory, no matter who is involved.
Hold on, I'll
I
be
don't
with
blame
you.
them for talking quietly.
Of course. Oh my god. These are cheesecake.
You wearing cheesecake heights?
I'm sorry, I'll be with you in just a minute. I need to. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is. Oh. So good. Like. That is. Tears to my eyes level good. I'm scared to take another bite. I'm not sure that I can stream on Twitch how this makes me feel. I'm not sure I'm allowed to.
When Trevor met Blueberry as opposed to when Harry met Sally.
It's cheesecake. It's not even the. I mean, the blueberries are great, but it is just the cheesecake of it. Oh my god, that is good cheesecake. Oh. I'll have what he's having.
Mm-hmm. But without the blueberries.
You barely notice them. You barely notice the blueberries. Oh my goodness, is it my affiliate anniversary? Is it our affiliate anniversary?
Oh, Twitch made that my first option for saying anything, so yeah.
Woohoo! We've been affiliates for a year.
I prefer to be an affiliate.
Okay. Now I feel like we can go on and talk about this depressing stuff. I felt a little weird talking about that depressing stuff while I was feeling so good inside.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, considering what's going on in society today, of course the cop is quiet. And I did throw out there
it's not
that
just that. It's just what was apparently happening to start with.
right, and I threw out the fact that I'm with Nikwork Network News. I claimed my space. I claimed myself in the media space at that moment. So, what it turned out to be was, I'm gonna pull up your what you sent me. And here it is. Sounds like the dude was trying to force a girl into his car, kept her from leaving the car. She texted police, at some point made it from the Starbucks up to the Best Buy, seems to have enlisted help from an employee, and then hid in the bathroom till the cops got there. And that was well, that was going on while I was looking for an audio recorder. And the cops got there while I was checking out. I'm gonna play the audio from that Cat got me from that got us from the scanner, and then we will come back to discussing it. Part of why I want to play this is, even though I think it's a little hard to hear, you can hear a description of the guy. So those of us in Charlottesville, in and around Charlottesville, keep an eye out for this person.
see all units stand by for lookout. Speed for City 37, check your status. All units on lookout for a white hat, paralyzed male, approximately 23 years old, not seen wearing a dark blue shirt. He's being aggressive, proud to caller. No further, 1705.
55 Mark Town 35A.
10-4. 37 East. Another report number for this? 21751 21750. Please proceed to 136 856. Priority 1 domestic at Starbucks on unit 1617 in the street north. Reference to the logo given, the vehicle stopped moving. Last mapping in the parking lot. Starbucks unit. Here's your instruction.
Suspect no more.
Okay, do you see copy disabled? 136 56. Priority 1 domestic Starbucks coffee. 1617 in the street north.
I want to stop here for a moment. I want to stop here for a moment and appreciate the fact that it was a white man. Suspect was white man. They said 23 years old or 32 years old.
I am not entirely certain.
I'm too dyslexic to remember the direction of the age. But it was a white man. They're dangerous. There's a reason that Doechii chose as her number one red flag straight men. You didn't know about that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Doechii is a musical artist, and she was on some sort of talk show, and it was one of those like, how well do you know someone sort of things, I think. And the prompt was, what's your number one red flag? And on the board, she wrote something down, turned it over, and her friend across the table from her said, straight men. And that was exactly what Doechii had written down. It's an extension of the would you rather run into a man or a bear in the woods conversation.
Ah, okay.
Well, those two terms aren't mutually exclusive, though.
Well,
Why,
no,
for me personally, I'd rather run into a bear man in the woods.
like I was about to say.
But, jokes aside, the implication here, the unsaid part, is that straight men are dangerous. Now, what I was talking about on Thursday when I went through and, did a stream about this, is that it's not necessarily all straight men, but it's a statistical averaging out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are straight white men like this guy who are very dangerous to women, represent an outsized danger. And there are enough of them and men who represent a little bit of danger, who represent, some kind of danger, but not that much danger, or represent danger to certain women, but maybe not that woman. There's enough danger to women from men that when it averages out to any given man that you don't know really, really well, too. Like, that's the thing. Like, any straight man that you've just sort of met, the average chance is that he's somewhere from mostly dangerous to very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's a statistical law of averages that women have to move in the world with a knowledge of, knowing that they're in danger from men. So they kind of have to be afraid of all men. As if any man represented that danger. Because men don't wear signs that say, I'm safe, I'm dangerous. And the
Well,
ones who wear the signs that say, I'm safe, are not.
Yeah.
This is where the problem with nice guys comes in. It's not actually a problem with guys who are nice. It's a problem with guys who use, but I'm a nice guy, to try to manipulate women into whatever.
No, they try to use the nice guy image to manipulate other people.
Right. Women, men.
Because the goal is they've got their main target that they're luring
Right.
in, and then they're using their image to manipulate everybody around them, so that when something goes wrong, they're seen as the injured party.
Yes. And the less self-aware ones.
Don't give away my secrets.
I'll beat you later.
Look at kindness and kind interactions with women as basically as tokens they're putting into a gumball machine. If I put enough nice tokens in, I get a sex gumball, right? No. Being nice to people doesn't mean you get a sex gumball from them.
No.
Right? Like, no.
And it messes it up for everybody else that actually is genuinely nice. Because either they're being nice and everyone takes that as an invitation to try to cash in what they think is a token for a gumball,
Right.
or they're being nice and they're being accused of that being their only goal.
Right. Now, that being said, if a man spends time in community with women, especially cishet, straight man spends enough time in community with women, not being creepy, not, having friends, being a part of the community, not trying to get sex from anyone, not trying to hook up, not trying to have a relationship, just friendships. They will start to learn they will start to learn the difference and how to be, and women will start to see that difference in them. And women will be a lot less threatened by them because there will be a lot less threatening. Because they won't just expect that every woman they meet is a potential target. They won't be potentially trying every time. They won't, and they'll be able to be honest about what they're looking for. I want to circle back to the if being nice were tokens for sex gumballs,
Mm.
I would have more than a lifetime supply of gumballs. I don't need that much gum. I can't chew that much gum. Also,
After a while, it gets kind of
sometimes it begins to sometimes I worry that I send a false message to people, especially to women. Especially to women, because I am kind of available for most boys. But I'm not available for most women. So I worry that by being nice and I send a message that is, hey, Kush Gang! Hey, I'm saving the strawberry. Oh gosh, I was saving the other one until you got here because it was an amazing experience. That eating that cake, eating the other one of these was. It's the kind of thing that could make you find faith. Just so good.
I mean, I did send you that religious video earlier, Trevor. I think the next time that you're over there visiting, then you should show them that video to see if they can start their own deal.
Yeah. One of your good friends made it. It's amazing. They did an amazing job. You'll see how amazing I think it is in a few minutes. Right now we're gonna. Oh. It's so good. It's so good that I am a little uncomfortable showing my reaction to it on Twitch. I feel like that reaction should be saved for OnlyFans. It was OnlyFans level of delicious.
So only pans.
I was not expecting that. All right, so OnlyPants, nice. We were discussing the nice guy syndrome real quick, and what I was saying is, now sometimes I worry that people get the wrong idea because I'm so nice that people think, oh, he's a nice guy. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And that's why I've started sort of thinking of it when people ask things like, are you a good person? Are you a nice guy? Are you a... I say that's you have to ask other people there who define those qualities in me, because some people will say I'm a really nice guy, and then there are some people who go, nah, that dude's an a-hole, F him. And I can't claim that either opinion of me is more correct than the other, because the people who don't like me generally don't like me for, if not good reasons, then valid reasons.
I just describe myself as a likable asshole.
Yeah, I get that. Just me,
That works.
Crystal.
I appreciate
Thank you. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Yeah, except you're not as much of an a-hole as you could be. So, like, I don't think of you as an
That's where the
actual
likable part
a-hole.
comes in.
It's true. That's true.
I mean, look, we
Oh,
have the
thank you for the
infamous
cheer.
song by what's his name to kind of compare the list of things to. So, we can use that as a rating scale.
That's fair. Well, all right, Charlottesville.
We did an updated
Yes.
version on Jimmy Kimmel.
I love that.
All right, Charlottesville. From that special report, keep your eyes open for an indiscriminate white man, either 23 or 32, who was trying to abduct a young woman in the Best Buy area yesterday.
I haven't seen any specific news reports about it.
Right, and I don't think we are until they have some idea. Unless I don't think we will, unless they get the guy. I don't think they want to talk about this because they are not gonna get him. Because I feel like, well, did they give a license plate number on the?
They had the car description. I'm not sure if they gave the license plate,
Okay.
but the reason I'm thinking that they may drop it and not do anything is that they may approach it as DV, and she may not actually press charges.
I hope she does. I hope she does press charges. I hope they don't treat it as DV. Because it was happening on the store property. On
and
private
it was causing
property. Yeah.
Issue to the store customers. It involved employees. There may be other things that can happen, but
Okay.
we won't hear about it until they actually have something to say.
Yeah.
Versus not an average, but an unknown person trying to do something similar.
Even then, I don't think we would hear about it because I don't think Charlottesville police want to advertise exactly how little they're capable of at the moment.
Probably not.
They only want to advertise having caught people, especially with the stuff that's going on around town right now. Like, someone got stabbed to death a few days, like last week sometime. I found out about it on Sunday. It was Saturday night. It happened Saturday night. I found out about it because an undisclosed friend was in the parking lot when the stabbed guy came running up and was like, "Help me." My friend said he was in his car with his kid, and guy comes banging on the door. My friend pulled out his gun and was like, "Step back." Guy's like, no, I've been stabbed. Turns around, shows his back's been stabbed, like just.
Yeah.
And then and my friend went out there and was like tried to help a little or whatever, and then like by the time he was passing back by, it was body bag and police tape time.
Mm-hmm. We've got that. We've got what happened up in Spotsylvania.
Yeah. We are in scary times, Kush gang. We are, and Charlottesville is getting worse. It's growing up and getting worse. And it's going to be, I predict it's going to be where Richmond was in the
90s?
in the 90s here in a few years. Before that, Kush Gang said, been the nice guy my whole life. A friend taught me how to be a Venus flytrap to survive. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Strawberry cheesecake and then animal stories.
Okay.
Sounded like we just went through a couple of animal stories.
Right?
Wrong animal, though. These are uplifting animal stories. Most of them.
Most of them.
I mean, I do have to do such things as inflict, nightmare fuel on you at least once. But I will say this, there was one this morning that I looked at and I went, even I can't inflict that on Trevor today. Will hurt.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I was in heaven.
Croak, 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 croak. I can't make the cricket sound. And I forgot the button.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Oh my god, this is so good. Oh. This. It's the kind of delicious that you have to stop and catch your breath after a bite or two. This is. Oh. Wow. Just wow. Oh. It is amazing. Oh, gosh.
Keep this up, you're going to get demonetized.
I know. This is the kind of thing that you got to be really careful about showing on YouTube and Twitch. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, that was amazing. Oh, my goodness. I hope it was as good for all y'all as it was for me.
Sorry, sorry. I just found it mildly uncomfortable.
I need a smoke after that. Oh. Somehow I'm glad that that Lockpick wasn't here for that. I think he'd feel cheated on.
Well, you're just gonna have to take a stash of those cheesecake treats and visit him.
If there are any left. Oh, man.
Padlock.
Yeah.
Padlock. What you do is you put them in the cooler, padlock the cooler shut, you mail him the key.
No, you don't need to mail him the key. Just look at his name.
Well, that's why you mail it to him. That way, if it gets lost in the mail, he can still handle it. But either way, the key is not physically in Trevor's possession any longer, so they will be safe between here and the Canadian border.
True. Oh, man. Thank you for the 40 bits, Kush gang. Thank you very much for the 40 bits. I really appreciate that. We really appreciate that.
You have a fan or something going?
No, I don't. I should, but I don't. Well, I don't because when I'm recording, when we're doing this, it will show up vaguely.
Well, right now it sounds like a playing card with bicycle spokes on occasion.
Is that why?
I don't know what you did, so I can't say.
Don't hear it. It was coming over Discord pretty clearly, though. But it stopped, so I don't know.
Huh.
If it starts again, we'll say something and let you look around and see what's making noise.
There we go.
Yep.
That is, I believe that's background music.
Okay. So the rattle, okay.
Because I can't hear anything in here. I've got a window open and there's a slight breeze, but you shouldn't be able to hear that.
No. It's intermittent. It seems like you will move and it'll start and then you'll move again and it'll stop.
It could also be the sound through my headphones. Could be the music coming through my headphones.
I mean, could be.
Oh.
Either way.
Pre-rolls brought to you by the Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall, above the bricks, Suite 200, between Green Cauldron and Hamilton's. I got through it easily that time.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good, though. So good. And of course, Kush Gang, purveyors of fine infused edibles. And other stuff, too. All right, so we have got some news stories. That's from
You also
before.
term news very loosely.
Well, I mean, no. AP News provided some of them. That counts. I mean, we're Nikwork Network News, so we count too.
Yeah.
Well, considering it's all Ark on the Lamb, it's news stories.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Muse.
news. Yes.
Moose. Emus? No. We don't
No, but there's
talk
a
about
cassowary.
Var. Oh, man. Nightmare fuel. All right, so we're starting with this one from... Why do you
Very
do
top
this?
one?
Yep.
Yep. From AP News.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Zoo.
And... here we
Something
go.
nice and uplifting to start off Ark on the Lamb.
Yes. Galapagos tortoises at Philadelphia Zoo become first-time parents at nearly 100.
Mm-hmm.
A pair of critical... this is from the Associated Press. Pair of critically endangered, nearly 100-year-old Galapagos tortoises at Philadelphia Zoo have become first-time parents. In an announcement Friday, the zoo said it is overjoyed at the arrivals of 4 hatchlings, a first in its more than 150-year history. The babies are offspring of female mommy and male abrazo. Abrazo.
Think of Brazo.
Abrazo.
Yeah.
The zoo's 2 eldest residents. What were you about to say?
That apparently they're not done with the clutch of eggs. Right now they're at 4, but there's several more that may actually still hatch.
Oh, wow. That's good.
It is.
Eating and growing appropriately? Right on. Well, that is, it's pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
Our next story's, escaped otters.
yes.
Uh-oh. Escaped otter is home safe. Otter
Yes.
limits. Nice and otter limits. Escaped otter is home safe, but zoo says her pal is still on the loose.
Yep.
Let's see which. All right. Do they say which zoo it is? Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay. Ophelia, the escaped zoo otter, is back home, but Louie remains elusive, perhaps in search of a mate. Oi. The 2 North American river otters escaped 2 weeks ago from the new zoo and adventure park in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ophelia was captured Friday night, the zoo said in a Facebook post. Her return was kept under wraps until Tuesday while she was held for observation. A veterinarian's examination Monday cleared her for return to the enclosure. However, she may not always be visible to guests. The zoo says Ophelia has always been a bit shy and enjoys tucking into things to take naps throughout the day. The mammals escaped through a hole in a fence during a snowstorm. Louie remains on the lam. They said it! They said the thing! They said the thing! This is otter breeding season, and we expect that as a male otter, Louis is likely ranging a bit further from home than Ophelia did, said someone. I guess they're continuing the quote from above.
Yes.
Said someone. All right.
So yes, we have an otter.
An otter on the lamb?
An otter on the lamb.
They said the thing!
They said the thing.
Cheese and crackers were predictable.
Oh, definitely. Anybody that listens long enough to hear the number of puns that we come up with just in a short weekend
Right?
knows that there are certain things that will definitely catch our attention.
I mean, we truly do live up to the name of news pundits.
Yes.
Putting the pun back in punditry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was thinking, yeah, we should call ourselves Nikwork Network News, an illegitimate news source. Putting the pun back in punditry.
Now, we don't need to add an illegitimate news source to that, because we would like to be taken as real people.
I think it is... Okay. Fair enough. But...
We've got the entertainment part on the end, so you know. Nikwork Network News and Entertainment. We put the pun back in punditry.
Drop the entertainment. Nikwork Network News. We put the pun in punditry.
Yep, that works.
And the high in hiccup.
Oh, definitely.
Alright, I think I got rid of the hiccups there. Alright, so this next one is from The Dodo. Diver unknowingly captures one of the only sightings of the rare ribbon animal. We didn't realize how unique this sighting was. Oh, it says watch on TikTok. I don't TikTok. If you looked down into the water and saw this floating by, what would you think it was? A tapeworm, a ribbon, a snake? You would have guessed a ribbon. You actually wouldn't have been too far off. This animal, known both as white ribbon eel and as a ghost eel, is a pale-colored cousin of the more familiar green and brown moray eels. A few years ago, a diver named Acacia Ott, who educates people about Australia's Great Barrier Reef with master reef guides, captured a video of a white ribbon eel at a marina. At the time, she wasn't sure how to identify the animal she'd recorded, but didn't think much of it. Initially thought to be a creepy-looking worm, we didn't realize how unique this sighting was, Ott wrote on Instagram. Just recently, though, Ott dug up the video, showed it to eel experts, Teresa Graham. When Graham realized what she was looking at, she was shocked. Little did Ott know that the video she'd actually recorded was going to make history. That's what the thing looks like.
And for those that are looking, you can see kind of the in the water look of it over on the Discord page there.
Yeah.
Which it does look like a piece of ribbon in the water.
Yeah, it does.
Apparently, they've only been confirmed sightings
3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that article seemed to say.
So, nifty flat eel that isn't seen very often, and everybody's all excited. It is nice to know that not only does Australia have everything that will kill you, but they also have living shoelaces.
Yep. Wild bird seen preparing for war after learning to shoot a rubber band.
Yes. I liked my
Yikes.
lead in for that.
Wild bird in Australia apparently added a new weapon to its feathered arsenal. The other day, Reddit user Dono701 was at home in Melbourne when they spotted a bird identified as a pied currawong perched on their fence. In the bird's mouth, inexplicably, was a rubber band. Now, it's pretty easy to explain. The bird had a rubber band in its mouth. That's not an inexplicable thing, you know. Birds and rubber bands exist in the same...
Universe?
You know, yeah. I will grant them it is a little odd. And as if it weren't odd enough, things got stranger still. While Dono701 looked on, the bird began to manipulate the rubber band along the fence's slats until it got it to hook on. Then, pulling the rubber band back, he managed to shoot it, much like a rambunctious school kid.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they're preparing for war, Dono701 wrote.
I mean, in most other places, that would be kind of an over-the-top statement. But in a land that has had war with rabbits and lost a war with the emus...
Right? I mean, who's to say this is not...
Yes.
I mean, okay, this is odd. And it would feel inexplicable if you didn't...
If you'd never watched crows.
Right. This bird seems to be not unlike a corvid.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I don't know if I feel like that shot was intentional. Like, we have to see it do it again a couple of times. Do something similar again.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yep.
This looks highly intentional. This looks like a crow. I am 100% certain this is a type of corvid now. Although
that behavior of
preparing for war, I don't know. Maybe just playing. There's something about that looks like playful behavior.
True, but again, you've got a people that have been at war with the animals in their land for a very, very long time, so I do understand.
With the birds.
Exactly. So birds that are apparently learning how to use rubber bands to shoot things, or at least to shoot in general directions. Oh no. You know?
Right.
I can see the immediate conclusion there, but whether it's necessary or not.
These pod curlings did the same thing with a bath mat.
Uh-huh.
That went from cute to they're threatening us very quickly.
Like I said,
All right, so the de-extinction of the dire wolf is what we're next gonna talk about.
Yep.
So
you've got two articles there. One is very much on the press release pro side of dire wolves and how they came about with this. The other one is
The de-extinct direwolves are neither de-extinct nor direwolves, which is the position I'm going to take on this. So, we could open up the articles. I don't think we need to. I think we can talk through this one pretty quick.
Yeah.
Talk through the background of this one pretty quick anyway. There is an organization that is trying to de-extinct dire wolves, and they did so by using a very tiny amount of direwolf DNA and a lot of gray wolf DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And they have produced something that is larger and closer to what we think a dire wolf might have looked like.
Mm-hmm.
It is, however, mostly gray wolf. And if it is not gray wolf by species, it is most certainly not dire wolf. And this means that it is a new man-made species, which I think is, in a way, almost cooler than de-extincting them. This is, I got a lot of my background on this from Hank Green over on YouTube. And I found Hank's take on it to be the most reasonable so far. The fact that it, it's pretty neat, and there are some cool things that can come out of this, and there may even be good reason to. The Prius of animals. It's a hybrid.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Infused loaf. The Prius. Hybrid. Kush gang, you on this one for us? Infuse a few dinner rolls. Call them Priuses.
Small, ergonomic.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
Ow, peanut gallery. Ow.
Yes.
I love it.
That's okay, Kush Gang. We've come up with a new project.
Yeah, infused dinner rolls. Call them Priuses because they're high-bred. Ow. Just ow. Now you're in commercial. Okay, I'll do the joke one more time when you get out of commercial.
You want to do it again, or you want me to type it?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'm committed to the bit. I'll do it. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
you're committed to the bit.
You ought to be committed.
I ought to be.
No comment. Because I'd probably get committed too.
Right, exactly. Okay. So here's the pitch. Infused dinner rolls. Call them Priuses because they're high-bred.
When this hits YouTube, people are going to look at us and go,
Why?
why not?
Right? These people are crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
And
All right, so
I
here's one for you.
resemble
If you
that
took
remark.
infused garlic knots, what would you call those?
delicious.
It involves garlic. You think everything's delicious.
Right.
Yes.
I'm just looking for the pun
I
name.
would call it time to go surfing because it's high tide.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. That works. Vampire proof surf bread.
Vampire proof surf bread. High tide.
Yes.
Putting the pun back in punditry.
Yes. Yes. You need to add that to the YouTube channel.
We really do. So yeah, it is. I do. You know, there are some cases where de-extinction. Kush Gang says, "I want some high bread." I do too. There are some cases where de-extinction might actually be useful. You
Yes,
know,
Jurassic Park.
right? But mostly it would what you would do with it, what you would do with this with de-extinction. I mean, what you would do with it is bring back keystone species whose places in the habitat haven't yet been filled. You
Or
know,
have been filled poorly.
or have been filled poorly.
Keep that in mind for a later story, by the way.
Okay. So yeah, otherwise de-extinction is for zoos. Yeah, zoos. I was gonna say and museums, but
No.
museums.
Not amusement parks.
Yeah.
Museums, yes. Amusement parks, no. We have several movies showing why that is a capital bad, capital idea.
Well, only if you're de-extincting really, really freaking dangerous stuff. I mean, there's some horse breed, there's somebody's horse that they're trying to de-extinct that it's like, why would you, why would you bring it back? There's no place in the ecosystem for it, but bring it back, keep it at an amusement park, petting zoo. But I mean, the thing is, don't pull a Jurassic Park, obviously, right? I mean, the basic premise of this is of that movie is flawed in that who would choose to bring back the most dangerous animals? When you go through and
Stop right there. Stop right there. I want you to think what you just said. And then I want you to think back 5 years and everybody's saying, oh no, we would do, back when the saying avoid such and such like the plague actually had meaning, and then we had a plague.
I mean, yeah.
And who was in charge at that point of the plague that would definitely be like, oh, it's the biggest, it's the bestest, let's make this.
I mean, yeah. Well, okay. What we're saying, by the way, what I'm saying, by the way, is Kush Gang. is that they're neither dire wolves nor have they really been de-extincted. I'm sort of on that side. Like, these are mostly just gray wolves with a few a few percent of direwolf DNA in gray wolves, which doesn't make them direwolves. It makes them slightly different gray wolves.
I think if they keep doing this project for a bit and they get enough gray wolf genetic diversity where they can start doing a more selective program,
Right.
at some point they will actually have the direwolves. You'll have enough actual direwolf DNA mixed in and spread out to actually make it work.
Look, they're not doing it for a bit. We're doing it for a bit.
Right.
This is true. This is true. But
this being said, we have no way of knowing if, even if all of the DNA appears to be correct for a direwolf, even if we manage to breed it to that point, we still have no way of knowing if it is really if the morphology would put it in the taxonomical group of direwolf. We don't know if it's what a direwolf would have looked like or sounded like, even if we have the DNA right.
mm-hmm.
There may be
because we may have the wrong part of the DNA. We may have the part of the DNA that eventually turned into something else.
Right. There's plus
building blocks are weird.
Plus, we have no way of knowing what a direwolf actually looked or acted like. We have ways of approximating,
mm-hmm.
but for this use case, I don't think we have enough information to call it good. This, that's Comey. Oh. Okay, so the background music right now, if you're listening to this on Twitch, it sounds like there's somebody talking in the background, and they are, and it's James Comey talking about Trump in an interview on NPR that I stuck music behind on top of.
Okay.
Anyway.
So yeah. Of the articles I've seen, some have been for, some have been kind of on the derogatory side of against. I'm kind of in the middle. They did a thing. There's a chance that eventually they could have something that is more pure, and if they want to call it a direwolf, great. It's got to have a name anyway.
Right? Or a new direwolf or something like that. I think the thing
but there's no reason to be rude about it to them. The way
right.
Certain articles have been.
There's no need to misrepresent what they did, but there's also no need to undersell what they did. They did something pretty freaking cool. Like, we gotta look at that and go, okay, that's pretty crazy cool, yo. But we can't go saying, oh, it's de-extinct, it's the direwolf is back. No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
facts matter.
That's advertising, honestly.
Yes. Facts matter. I thoroughly believe that facts matter.
Yes. Yes.
That being said,
I would be interested.
The world we live in.
Yeah. I will be interested to see if in 10 to 20 years, after they've had a chance to study, hopefully, like 3 or 4 generations,
Right. That would be pretty neat.
and see what the consensus is at that point.
That would be
Because
pretty. It would.
if they've got all the bones,
Yeah, but you know how bad they are at reconstructing an animal from its bones.
I know, we've got like several different dinosaurs that are really just the same dinosaur. They just put it together wrong each time.
And
Um,
well, that and
Like how seeing an elephant skull.
so
have
freaking awesome!
right. Also, the you know, the fact that they don't know what muscle shape and content was like by bones, like
They don't,
the
but they
skeleton
can at
of
least.
a hippo looks like
Oh
something.
god, yeah.
I mean, hippos are terrifying. Let's
Mm-hmm.
not kid ourselves.
Mm.
More people die by hippo than die by shark.
More people die by cow than die by shark.
True. More people die by hippo than die by cow, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Like, that's should tell you how dangerous hippos are. But the skeleton makes them look even more terrifying. Like, and what you would come up with if you started with the skeleton and had no depth markers for flesh,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a duckbill platypus dragon like thing.
I mean, yeah, the skeleton shows how scary the hippo is supposed to be versus what we see and go, oh, it's cute.
Aww. Right.
But what I was going to say is they do have the bones, so if nothing else, they may not get anything else right of musculature or anything else. They'll at least get the bone framework. And they say, okay, this actually matches up and kind of looks like, what the leg bones would look like. So they'll have that at least as a basis of, we hit this parameter. We have no clue about these other parameters, but we hit that parameter.
That's fair. That's fair. I keep looking over at the other camera like we're using it.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Okay. Next story you don't
Okay.
have to read. It just has a question. Are we counting fungi and bacteria as animals? If not, skip the story.
I mean, bacteria, yes. Fungi, no.
Because fungi are their own thing. They're not plant or animal.
So I'm not a plant or an animal?
You are a punster. You are in your own category along with Trevor. And I have the archery set out back.
And we are fungi.
Archery set. I have the archery set.
We grow on you, much like a fungi.
I have a spatula and tea tree oil.
I'm terrified, but I'm not quite sure why. That combination of objects is menacing, but I have no idea what would happen with them.
That's probably why, is because those by themselves should not be scary, but the fact that they're in my hands and do know me makes it questionable and worse.
The spatula and tea tree oil. The heck are you gonna do with that? No, don't show me, don't show me. That's okay. Don't show me. All right. I'm
So you skipped this one. It was just a case of it popped up, and I was like, it mentions these things. I'm gonna put it here for later, just in case. You can
now
come back if we need to.
this has caught my attention.
Okay.
I'm It was bacteria, not a miracle, on a communion wafer in an Indiana church.
Yeah.
In Morris, Indiana, y'all. Laboratory analysis turned up nothing miraculous about red marks found on a communion wafer at a Catholic church in Indiana. The discovery at St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Morris was unusual enough for a formal inspection. The Archdiocese of Indianapolis. The Archdiocese of Indianapolis said. But the biochemical analysis revealed only fungus and 3 different species of bacteria, all of which are commonly found on human hands. The Archdiocese said Monday, adding that no blood was found. The Catholic faith teaches us that wine and bread wafers signify the body and blood of Jesus Christ. Typically, they're consecrated by a priest at Mass. The host, or bread, with red marks had fallen out of a Mass kit at St. Anthony Church. Throughout the history of the Catholic Church, there have been well-documented miracles and apparitions, and each has been thoroughly and carefully reviewed, the Archdiocese said. Before the analysis, some members of St. Anthony Church were excited about what might be found. We have such a little town; you can drive right through and blink, and you're through it. Sherry Strussel said. Sherry Strussel, a church member, told WKRC TV, "It means the world, it does, and I think there's something special about our church up here."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Good on UK for that. Well, okay. So now, hey now, sing this corrosion to me.
Do what?
My take on this may seem a bit odd, given what everybody knows about me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it may not have been blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But aren't God's ways ineffable? Isn't it?
There, all right. One day, you and I need to watch this video that goes over the 10 plagues.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, a lot of times, I feel like people may be getting signs and throwing them out because there's some other explanation as well, and a lot of people don't have room in their minds for something to be scientifically one thing and spiritually/religiously another.
Yes.
And I just wonder if why can't it be bacteria and a miracle?
I think that before we had the ability to test for some things, it would have been seen as as a miracle in and of itself and would have been accepted.
Right.
I think that
I think that
if
the
you are seeing it
Catholic
as a sign, see it
Church.
as a sign.
You're right. Exactly. I think the Catholic Church is gatekeeping.
They have been.
I think they're putting they're putting a limit on what. I think a lot of churches do that, though. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of gatekeeping about, are you holy enough to have had this experience? And as an outsider, I find that that's not okay. I don't think that. I think that every single one of us is holy enough to have whatever miraculous encounter we want. You know,
So,
whatever.
as to the Catholic Church gatekeeping, specifically in the matter of miracles,
Yes.
let's put it this way. Those of the faith can still consider it a miracle. But if they don't, they're trying not to be laughed out of the building by saying that this easily explainable phenomenon is a miracle. They're trying to make sure that they maintain a certain level of legitimacy to that term.
That's fair. I mean, that is very fair. I mean, for a miracle to be a miracle, it's really got to be pretty miraculous. No?
We should also note that there is actually supposed to be a split in the definition between miracle and sign.
Fair.
Miracle is supposed to be miraculous, supposed to have a harder time being explained.
But a sign.
And this is something
now,
to
okay,
keep in mind.
I guess if the bacteria grew in the shape of the face of Christ, or the shape of a cross, or, you know, and it looked like a bloody face of Christ, or a bloody cross or something like that, that would be miracle, right? Then we'd be in miracle territory. Just that
it would if it was not a bacteria commonly found on humans.
I don't know, man. If it's growing in the shape of the face of Christ,
that means that the easily explainable is that someone sat there and used their finger to doodle a face.
I mean, maybe.
Which then means, you know, someone's back there handling the crackers and not washing them.
Right. But like, that would mean that it goes from being miracle to prank.
Right.
But
if you've got like red algae, which doesn't grow on humans, suddenly managing to.
Right.
Oh.
See you later, Kush gang. Enjoy the Canada market. Have fun.
Yep.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
See you around.
Yeah. What I was going to say, though, about signs is signs are not explicitly reserved for those of the Christian faith.
Well, neither are miracles.
This is true.
But
the number of people that want to argue and say...
But Catholics believe that only miracles happen to Catholics. Signs can happen to anybody, is sort of what you're saying.
Well, no, actually, what I was going to say is that a lot of people just want to argue that because signs and miracles are the same thing, if it isn't miraculous, it's not a sign. And, I mean, you and I both know a whole host of people that, among other things, they'll see something that is obviously provable and they go, okay, that is a sign we're going to turn around and go do this other thing. And
Yeah.
the bulk of the time when they pay attention to that, things go better. Whether it's watching the poplar leaves turn upside down and going, okay,
Time
it
to
looks
go
like a nice
inside.
day. Time to go inside. We're about to have something. And everybody else going, huh?
But
Bring
that's,
the
I
food
mean,
inside. But that's a what?
that's merely a speak with plants spell. I mean, that's no great miracle. It's
Like I
it's
said, miracle
it's
and
a
sign
simple
have
spell.
become synonymous, and they're not.
Right. Well, also, okay, but it is also not it's not really a divine sign from above or below or the other side or wherever you get your divine signs from. It's it's a sign specifically from your local trees.
Yes.
Although I will say that I think it is pretty miraculous that trees do that.
And who's to say that?
But then again, I believe that science is pretty awesomely miraculous. You know?
I mean, I know people that have been pondering over what was a really big yes or no question, and they end up finding bird feathers every time they start leaning towards one equation or another.
Well, I mean,
And that was their sign. They're like, every time I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about this in this way, I'm finding bird feathers on the ground. That's my sign that that's the choice I need to make.
but that would be mine too. Like, I'm not that is a divine sign to me or a sign from from some other source. That's not
Exactly.
it's not a directly attributable to something in the immediate area. That's sort of where I'm at with it. Like the sign that it's going to rain from the leaves turning upside down is a sign that I can directly attribute to those trees.
True.
Whereas the sign of your friend finding bird feathers or something similar things that have happened to me, and I mean the plural of anecdote is not evidence, or
No.
but that doesn't mean that anecdotally something happening a statistically significant number of times, even if it is anecdotal, I feel like means that you can apply it practically, even if you can't apply it theoretically. I can't write into theory any of the sort of magic signs or spells that I use. I mean, I could write them down as this is how you cast a spell, but it won't, but I can't. But it's not.
Like I said, it sign and miracle have become synonymous,
They
which they
have.
should not be.
They shouldn't
And
be. But
not all signs have to be or will be from some other thing.
yes.
The fact that for it to be a sign means that you are noticing something going on in your environment and taking that as a reason to change your behavior. It could be the trees doing it. It could be watching the dogs and noticing, oh, all of the animals are suddenly terrified and up on. It might be
Yeah.
time to leave the house and earthquake.
I mean, there are all kinds of. I mean, yes.
Just because there's a physical reason for the sign that you can know
And
doesn't mean it's not a
immediately
sign.
yes, that's true. But even signs that don't have, I want to say that even signs that don't have an immediate attributable source aren't necessarily miracles. Signs
No.
that are metaphysical, like your friend's feathers, aren't necessarily miraculous, even if they are metaphysical.
Yeah. I personally am a big believer that sophisticated enough science looks like magic, and sophisticated enough magic will look like science.
Yes, you were cutting in and out there at the end.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think it's your noise suppression levels or something. When you get quiet enough, the thing kicks on. The noise gate kicks on.
Fair enough.
That's why I turn mine all the way off, and you always hear my mic going unless I manually mute. That's why I've always got a little green square around my thing, is because that way I don't clip out at the ends of statements, especially because I can speak both very loud and very quiet.
Yeah. We'll change that. How's that work?
You do
how that
you.
works.
Okay. So we have moved on to our last
couple stories.
5.
Yeah.
Uninvited reptile visits interestingly named location.
Yes.
That sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Major development. Major.
Mm-hmm. Major.
Minor crisis. Major development after boa constrictor on the loose in major city. Major.
Major.
There's been a major update. Major.
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 I feel like the writer, whoever wrote this article, had Alexandra Fiam.
Mm.
I feel like they knew what they were doing there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's try this again. See if I can do it without laughing. Major development, Major. After boa constrictor on the loose in major city, Major. There's been a major update, Major, of an enormous boa constrictor was seen slithering on the loose in a major city, Major, southern suburbs.
Yes. And we have the, you know how we're always given a hard time of towns and structures here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see what they named that structure?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read this. Let's see if I can do this without cracking up. There's been a major update, after an enormous boa constrictor was spotting slithering on the loose in Sydney's south. The uninvited reptile was spotted slithering under the Tom's Ugly Bridge in Sylvania on Friday, with footage of the slithering snake uploaded to the suburbs' local Facebook page. The snake, believed to be a red body, is native to Central and South America and can reach an average length of 3 meters, 6 feet, or 9 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. On Thursday evening, a NSW Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development, DPIRD, NSW DPIRD, PERD, DPERD.
No,
I'm not sure why, but that sounds really dirty. Get your NSW out of my DPERD.
Sounds very Australian. Moving along.
Arnar.
Mm-hmm.
Size attachment. On Thursday evening, NSW Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development, DPRID, a spokesperson confirmed the boa constrictor had been safely captured. An alert member of the press noticed the animal, believing it may be the recently reported boa constrictor, sighted in the same area in recent days, and reported the sighting. The spokesperson said, I'm like halfway between Australia and Liverpool there. The male boa constrictor, which weighed 22 kilograms, cheese and crackers, I'll need to get my eyes checked, which weighed 2 kilograms, was safely captured and taken to a veterinarian the spokesperson confirmed. While they're not venomous, the reptile is considered a significant risk to the native wildlife and small children, domestic pets, and other animals as it wraps its body around its prey to suffocate it. The reptiles can also carry viruses, including the inclusion body disease and Ophidian paramyxovirus, which can be fatal to native snakes due to a lack of exposure. Who is General Failure, and why are they reading my hard drive?
They're curious. They're very curious. That's who they are.
Wow, joke's on them. Well, the joke's on them. After they read my hard drive, there doesn't seem to be anything left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was major fun. Major fun.
Major.
Major.
Somewhere out there, once this hits YouTube, there's going to be some very confused younger people trying to figure out what's going on and why we're...
You know,
I will enjoy it.
maybe, but also
Of
they'll
course,
they
not
may.
allowed to think of it's that clip from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what movie it is.
Doctor.
Yeah, the niceties have been observed.
I remember it as being a couple of different movies.
You had Spies Like Us and you had MASH.
Right.
And other things.
Right. I remember it being Spies Like Us, MASH,
No, I'm just
airplane.
remembering the lieutenant whose name was Major Major.
Oh, that one, yes. And then he
Major
got
minor.
field promotion to major, just so they could be done with it.
Without having to admit they made a mistake.
Yes. All right. So your next story is in here solely for the first real line of the story under the picture because the best puns I've seen recently.
Man in his 70s. What?
She's saying we need to up our game.
Man in his 70s hospitalized following cassowary attack in backyard. A man in his 70s has been hospitalized after being attacked in his own backyard by one of Australia's most fearsome birds. It is not just Australia's most fearsome bird. It is one of the world's most fearsome birds. Things are terrifying.
Yeah.
Look at that dinosaur murder machine. I mean, look at that thing. That thing has evil on its mind. It is thinking about doing bad things to people.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. But yes.
And you know what it's related to? You know what they're related to? That's my voice breaks like the knots. Kiwis.
Oh, kiwis. Yes. Oh, that's right. You had that wonderful kiwi discussion last week after I left.
Kiwis are just tiny cassowaries. They're just so small that they're not actually dangerous.
Yet. Wait till they get the rubber bands, too.
No. Even though there's no camera going over there at the moment. No. That was so terrifying you gave me the hiccups.
You need to go drink some more water.
It looks at me with murder.
Well, scroll up so you're not looking at him anymore. There you go.
A man has been hospitalized following a cassowary attack in far north Queensland. Picture Sophie Holt. A coastal town's residents have been warned to be cassowary after an elderly man was attacked in his own backyard.
I didn't do it. I just found it.
Cassowary. Cassa, be careful. Cassa, get the F out of town. Cassowary.
No, you said that wrong.
Nah, because I chuckled the other way. Yep.
Ow. Ow. That ow. 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 I'd ask what in particular that was revenge for, but I don't feel like you need anything in particular to get revenge on me for there. This sounds like something cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Aww, look at that little guy. Isn't he a cute little guy?
He is.
Aww. Australia's peacock spiders set a new record for fastest accelerating and withstanding G-forces.
Yup.
Yo. Which is funny because tarantulas can't.
No.
Tarantulas, like, they cannot fall off of, if they fall off of anything, they just go splot. They're, I mean, like, you could squish one if you swung it around too fast.
Yes.
But it's so weird.
Isn't
It's
it?
so cute, though.
Yes, it is.
Can I have one as a pet?
That's up to you.
Are they venomous? They're from Australia.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask that question. Just go with it's from Australia.
Are they knife-wielding venomous?
Not yet.
It's from Australia.
So, also, it's a spider. Aren't they by definition venomous?
No.
I know arachnids are not by definition venomous, but a spider.
No. No. No, there are
Probably
spiders that
definitely
are...
poisonous. I wouldn't eat one. Look at the bright colors.
I think there are spiders who are actively not venomous, not poisonous.
See, you think that picture is cute. Look up a peacock spider dance. That is adorable.
Yes.
So these people were the people who were torturing these poor little spiders to see if they could withstand G's.
I'm not sure if they actually tortured them or if they just sat there and did a whole bunch of math.
All right.
Either way, their equation equals that human fighter jet pilots and all, they're, so you're really fit, you're really strong, that has been trained to take higher G. And from their estimations, the spiders can handle 13.
You're cutting out again.
I fixed that. The spiders can handle 13 G-forces.
That's crazy.
Versus the human level of 9.
That is crazy. And yes, just me, Crystal. I like spiders. I think they are cute. I think spiders are adorable. It is one of those things. But ants, on the other hand, no sir. No sir, no ma'am, no turkey, no ham. Tell you what, that's a nah. Ants are a big nah, but spiders are adorable. But that's just the way some people are. And I even like danger noodles. I think that snakes are cute.
Some are. Some are on the go away list. They can go be cute 3 counties over. They don't need to be cute next to me.
Okay. What? Queensland's critically endangered bum breeding turtle population set for a boost thanks to joint project by researchers.
Alright, before you get any further,
what
that
now?
is a typo. It is supposed to say bum breathing.
What now?
The turtle
I mean, bum
is
breathing is a little more. Makes about as much sense as bum breathing. Bum breathing makes. I'm not saying can't be done. I'm just saying what? What now?
mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is supposed to be the one. They printed the other. This is their typo. I understand the typo.
Yeah. Queensland's critically endangered bum-breathing turtles are set to have a brighter future as researchers team up to figure out how to trick the turtle into laying eggs outside its unusual rainy breeding season. Researchers from Burnett Mary Regional Group, BMRG, have partnered with Tarabillong Aboriginal Corporation, TAC, a lot of other letter names, etc., and the Kabi People's Aboriginal Corporation to save the turtles. Okay, so a bunch of people came together to save the turtles. With Australian government support, they have designed an irrigation system to replicate the perfect rainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, they're watering the.
When are they going to talk about the bum breathing?
Well, I mean, because they're freshwater turtles. If when they dive down, they can get out of their other, while their heads down in the water grabbing fish.
Talk about talking out your. Never mind.
Yep, that is
We're gonna
exactly
move
right.
right along now.
All right, this is your last story.
So if politicians had that ability, it would truly be circular breathing.
Yes, it
Yep.
would.
You
Yes,
know
yes,
who
it
would
would.
you know who would really benefit from being able to do that? Didgeridoo and flute players.
I mean, imagine that the tuba people would.
Oh, this is okay. We're gonna watch the peacock spider dance.
Okay. Oh, that is cute. Look at those pretty colors.
That was fun.
I thought you would find that cute.
I really appreciate it. Wow, that's a great way to start. All right. Arnar.
Before you get yourself all wound up, you don't have to read the whole, but definitely the title, and then I want you to find the picture of the deer. At the
Okay,
very
you
end.
know, you stop me mid getting into accent.
Sorry. Not terribly sorry, but I do apologize. Arnar.
You wait until I'm like right there. You could have at least like said it when it pulled up.
Keep in mind the lag for me.
That's true. ABC show Eat the Invaders transforms Australian pests into cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Eat the Invaders!
Mm-hmm.
In an audacious new television series, premiering January 7th on ABC, host Tony Armstrong teams up with an avant-garde artist, Carisha Cachele, and Mona's executive chef, Vince Trim, to tackle one of Australia's most pressing environmental challenges with a forking knife. All right. Eat the Invaders takes viewers on a wild culinary journey across Australia, transforming ecological menaces into gourmet meals. The 6-part series doesn't just nibble around the edges of the invasive species problem, it dives fork first.
Yeah.
Fork. That was Manchester.
Eh. You're an exchange
No,
student.
that was York. That was a York fork between Manchester and Liverpool. It dives fork first into the controversial proposition of eating everything from feral cats to cane toads. All right, so like, I get this.
Mm-hmm.
But ain't nothing gonna make me eat a cat.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever. Even feral ones, even big cats. Nah. I mean, I guess if I was in a fight for my life with a big cat and I won, I would consider eating it as a show of respect because that's what it would do to me.
You will be happy to know they didn't eat any cats.
Oh, good. But otherwise, I'm in. I'm down.
Yeah. So
I'm all sorts of down with this.
From there, if you'll scroll down to where you've got where it starts listing out the episode, and it gives you a brief overview of each episode with pictures.
Okay.
And the funny one, the one that I am most interested in is but for cats, there is actually legal restrictions on doing anything like that in Australia. So what they did was the chef served up representations of the birds that the cats would typically eat. So they didn't actually cook the birds either, they just did representation.
Okay.
And then the very last is the episode about oh dear. There you go. So, looking at that picture, as someone that has lived in Virginia as long as you have, what is your first thought?
Dinner.
What is your first thought reading what's overlaying the deer?
Rabid? Which means not dinner? I mean, also not deer. I mean, around here, a feral deer is nothing to be fucked with because all deer are essentially feral, but if it's feral enough to get named a feral deer, it's either rabid or it's a not deer, and you don't have a full year to live.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I saw one?
No? Tell me later.
Well, no. Because
Okay, fine.
it's the kind of thing that if you tell somebody, it makes it real, and all of a sudden, you don't have a year to live. So
Alright, well then don't tell me later.
I'm not going to tell you later, but what
Okay.
what I won't tell you is that I didn't see a deer standing on two legs with long hair.
Obviously that was a cosplayer. You know that, right?
Obviously, I didn't see anything like that at all.
Fair enough.
Cosplayer or not. Especially because the place I saw it was also in the middle of a herd of... The place I didn't see it wasn't in the middle of a herd of deer.
I'm so glad you didn't see anything out there.
Right?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently regular deer are an invasive species.
Yeah.
And because they're something that was brought over, they're called...
Feral.
Yeah.
What do you think when you see that? Dinner? What about the thing
Exactly.
written over it? Rabid? I mean, how is that not the proper set of responses?
If you're from Australia.
Yeah. If you're from Virginia, that is the proper... Which made the whole, we're gonna go cook the deer meat up. You're like,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what you do.
Right? Isn't that why God made them so tasty?
Yes. But like, and we've got...
If
they
the
did...
gods didn't want me to eat deer, they wouldn't have made them taste so dang good. Same with brook trout. Same with trout. If the gods did not want me to eat trout, they would not have made them delicious.
So, yeah. Like, we're doing Eat the Invaders. Out of the list of invasive species that they went with, the one that I actually have a question about are the cane toads and how that went.
Ooh, yeah.
Apparently, they turned them into a dehydrated croaky crunchies.
Croaky crunchies.
Or, yeah.
See, when she first showed this thing to me earlier today, my response is, how the hell can there be invasive species in Australia? Everything there is designed to kill you in the most painful and humiliating way possible. So how is it that quote-unquote normal animals are now apex predators in the place on the planet where even the bottom of the food chain will zero you in no time?
Yeah, you know, when you put it like that, like, huh. That feels, huh.
Going back to an earlier story that we were talking about, the suggestion has been raised that once they're done fooling around with the dire wolf, work on things like the Tasmanian tiger, and see about bringing back something that's close to that and releasing them to take care of things like the rabbits and the deer. I mean, I don't think even a Tasmanian tiger's going to... But...
Yeah, but the emus are from there.
Yeah, but they've kind of, you know... But, you know, if they have something that might actually want to eat a couple... might be happier.
And this is where de-extinction can work. This is sort of that when there are spaces that are open in the ecosystem that need filling.
Mm-hmm.
That is, that's where the
That's Thursday stream.
de-extinction. No, that's Tuesday's stream.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew it started with a T.
Yes. It's a part of the Tuesday Thursday Club.
Okay.
But yeah, it is. It's so like that's part of what de-extinction is about. Is sort of this filling these ecological niches that are empty at the moment.
Yeah.
And so I mean we have a problem with biodiversity. And I mean, yes, it would be great to have a much higher biodiversity, but like say and I'm drawing directly on an example Hank Green made because it made a lot of sense to me. Say we de-extinct the American chestnut, right? Or is it walnut? One of them. Even if we manage to de-extinct and plant them, the blight that's the fungus in the soil is still here and will still just kill them all back off. We would need to genetically modify the American chestnut. Chestnut or walnut?
Honestly, I know about the chestnut, and I know that
Okay, so
do still have some, but what they've been doing to keep them around has been grafting them onto blight-resistant roots.
But the blight's still there. I mean,
Blight's still there.
There's nothing we can do unless we GMO the heck up out of it.
Which, honestly, the better option is to do what they've been doing, which is we're going to graft. We're going to take rootstock from. I want to say it's the other chestnut, and we're just going to graft it onto theirs because that can handle the blight.
I mean, yes, that is working to maintain it for now. But like,
yeah, you're not wrong.
Until they solve the base problems that have caused these extinctions, because a lot of these extinctions aren't because we killed them off. They're because
something happened.
A lot of extinctions are because the habitat has been transformed by humans. Not that we've hunted them to eating. It's, a lot of their extinctions happen because there's no habitat left for them, so. But. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's a lot going on this subject. And we do need a much higher level of biodiversity on this planet than we have now. Or at the very least, we need to stop losing biodiversity like we are. I mean, extinction happens. New species form. These things occur. However, we have accelerated extinctions without allowing for the geographical space for new species to form. And we need to knock that right the F off.
Honestly, I think, aside from replacing keystone species and filling the spots that are either empty or poorly filled, if you want to do de-extinction, start with the things that we know like the Tasmanian tiger, which was hunted skin.
Yeah.
Yes, the dodo as well, which was hunted for its feathers. Things like that. That would be nice.
Yeah.
We need to bring back all the pretty things we killed.
Yeah. And
Essentially,
all the pretty and tasty things that we killed.
yeah. I mean,
And
being able to
sharks
walk
are
around-
older than the North Star.
or Saturn's rings.
And
We've
Saturn's
been around the
rings.
galaxy twice.
They've been around the galaxy twice, yes.
Sharks have circled the galaxy twice. And with that terrifying thought, that's where we'll leave you today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, guys. Much love to you. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Thanks for putting the episode together. Much love to you, Just Me Crystal. Thank you for being here in chat. Much love to you. Much love to you, Kush Gang, or KGS Ways, King's Ways, as I like to say. Thank you for being here. And to all of you lurkers out there, thank you for lurking and hanging out with us. And now is the time on the show when I say stick around for the raid. Ha, gotcha. I also say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.